Hi, everybody. This is Tony Khan, the producer and director of Morning Stories from WGBH FM in Boston. Our storyteller today is a fellow named Sonny Dufault. Sonny is a recording engineer here in Boston. He's also an actor. He's the father of two young sons and the husband of a lovely woman named Gloria. He is, however, also married in a sense to another spouse, and that's a spouse that he met well into his first marriage. It's his illness. Diabetes. Although he was an adult, Sonny got a form of diabetes. It's known as juvenile diabetes. It's a very hard disease to manage because you really have to know things that are going on inside your body that most of the rest of us are lucky enough not to have to even think about. It's the kind of disease that if you don't take good care of it, well, it can jump up from behind and do you in no time at all. When I first met Sonny, he told me a hair-raising story about what it was like to spend his first weekend after knowing he had diabetes alone in his own home painting the basement. Well, he almost died because he forgot to feed himself at the right time. He survived a blackout at the last minute by crawling upstairs and finding, luckily, a piece of birthday cake in the refrigerator that saved him. Well, life with diabetes is not a piece of cake. But it also has, in some strange ways, some hidden benefits. Sonny tells us about some of those, as well as some of the tough times in today's morning story. We call it Can't Let Go.
I had left the house and I was going to meet someone for dinner 10 minutes away. I got in the car and I felt fine. The next thing I know, it was 2 hours later, I had two police cars following me because I was just hitting everything, going both sides of the road, and I ended up in somebody's front yard. They pulled me out of the car, and I would fall down, and they'd pick me up. They tried to give me the sobriety test, and finally one policeman just got so disgusted. He says, he doesn't even know what we're saying, so they handcuffed me and threw me in the cruiser and brought me to jail. That's when they called the emergency, and the ambulance came over, and when they revived me, I just sat right up, and the guy said, "We've got your sugar up to about 90 right now. How do you feel?" And I said, 90? Where am I? And the cop says, "He's lying." And the guy said, "No, he's a diabetic." And I kept saying, "Where's my car?" And finally the guy in the ambulance said, "You don't want to know. You don't want to know anything that happened tonight." At the trial, the policeman said, "We're dropping all the charges." Then the DA said, "No, you're not." And the DA said, "He's been a diabetic for 18 years. He should know better." I don't know what I should have done or what I could have done. I'm living this 24/7, and I'm trying to do the best I can. But everything affects it. You've got to have your kit with you, with your insulin, with your test unit. That you go to a restaurant with people. Got to check, okay, well, I'll need this much insulin. And if I order this, I can only have this much. And you got to figure out your meal. You've got to figure out how much insulin is going to cover that meal. And then you've got to take the injection. You can never do anything without thinking about that. If I go for a walk and I forget my glucose tabs, I could be a mile from the house. And if it hits me, I won't make it back. And you just never know what's it going to do next, what you need to do, what you want to do, it doesn't care. It doesn't care. After a while, you burn out. I'm kind of afraid to be around people. I lost a job once just because I was embarrassed to say that I was "Excuse me, can we take like 20 minutes out? Do you mind if I sit over there and chew down these glucose tablets? And I'm, there's something wrong with me, and I need you to understand." And I couldn't do it. Sometimes I just wish this was over. If I have to measure out one more meal, if I have to, I'm just going to go grab that bag of chips, and I don't care. I'm eating it. sometimes I hate it so much that I think, well, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe I'm supposed to have this for something that I need to learn. And one of the things I needed to learn was that I can't be totally independent. I always used to think about, boy, it would be great if I ever made a lot of money. I would get that place in the mountains, and I would just never have to deal with people again. I would have everything delivered that I wanted and then go away. And I don't feel that way anymore. I wouldn't like it up there on that mountain. I think I need to be with people. I guess people, you need people. In that job that I lost and that client that I lost because I couldn't tell them, I keep thinking back that maybe they would have liked to help me, Well, do you need something? Would you like a drink? Would you like something to eat, A lot of times I go through that where I'll say, I hate people. I wish they would just leave me alone. But, man, if I had to get through life without anybody, that'd be pretty tough. My third brother just got diagnosed with it last year. We'll never, talk about real feelings and, But he's, now that he's got this, though, he's a little warmer. He's since this happened, and this is just recent, whenever we talk on the phone, instead of saying goodbye, he always says, I love you. This is like a completely new thing for me. I like it, I always say I love you back, So I guess it's true what they say. You do fall in love with your own disease, don't you?
That's today's morning story from Sonny Dufault, Can't Let Go. I'm not exactly a religious person, but a story like that definitely brings some words to mind for me. There, but for the grace of God, go you and I. Anyway, thanks for listening to our podcasts. Podcasts of morning stories from WGBH-FM are made possible in part with support from Ipswitch, a leader in file transfer software. Further information, just check out their website, www.ipswitch.com. That's Ipswitch, IPSWITCH.com. See you next week.